Hello everybody, how's it going? It is Ediac here, and I am here with something different today. As you guys can probably tell from the title, I'm gonna do a review, or at least attempt to do a review. And so yeah. Okay, so they had a pretty big sale, and I wasn't gonna get anything, but I wanted to look over. But I remember that they had just bought Titanfall, or that they had just bought the Respawn, the company Respawn. So I wanted to go look to see if they had Titanfall 2 on sale because they had I've heard many good reviews on it, like only good things about it and how it got swept under the rug. So I wanted to see for myself, and um and so I found it on there. I found it for about 12 bucks. So I got it, downloaded it, and immediately just jumped on the campaign. Didn't even touch the multiplayer. Didn't think I was ready for it because I'm sure the only people on that multiplayer are people that love that game and that would wreck me any day of the month. Okay, so I know um, it's the end of 2017. I know the whole controversy with EA, Battlefront, loot boxes, and I know there's like a protest going on with them. It start off the campaign. It starts off very generic. I mean, it basically just puts you in a tutorial. I mean, it kind of you're in a simulation, and in that simulation, you're starting to do the tutorial. And I thought it was actually pretty cool doing this tutorial because, well, I bought this game on the PC and it's actually like one of my first games that I had in the PC, so I was still learning how to use them. I was learning how to use the keyboard and mouse. Learning how to use the keyboard and mouse, so this tutorial will actually help me out a lot because I was figuring out how to do the aiming and the way they did it was they just put kind of like targets right there in front of you and you just shot them. They had many guns that you can just try out. And it was actually I thought it was pretty well done. And they basically did the same thing with the movements, like learning how to jump, wall jump, slide. They had kind of like a crash course that you could just mess around, and it timed you so you can do your you can see your best times and all. And I thought it was actually pretty well done. Okay, so once you stop that, you start the actual story, and it seems to be getting like very generic. Not anything really cool. But you're not so you're just a soldier at this point, right? You're not a pilot yet, which a pilot's the people that can run the Titans. And pilot end up dying and you take their Titan, but you have to restore the Titan because he needs some batteries because he's almost dead. So for a while you're just kind of running around shooting some enemies, trying to find these batteries, and it gets very boring. I mean, not much going on. Everybody's pretty easy. Like all the foot soldiers, they're basically just like grunts. I mean, nothing easy. Just a headshot will kill them. I was playing this difficulty on hard too, and um, but once you get into the Titan, it felt very different. I mean, I as it should. I mean, I thought they did really well in this because it felt like the Titan felt really heavy and strong, but like you're such a big target too, and like so many people will shoot at you at just at once, and I mean you won't be able to see who everyone is because like they can see you from far away and they will shoot you. So the Titan's name is BT. I'm pretty sure that's his name. His name is BT, and one thing is like as soon as he started talking that I remember, it made me remember this, but he sounded a lot like Master Chief. And I mean, I don't know if like you guys have played Halo, but Master Chief just has like a really deep, calm, never emotion voice, and that's what BT sounded a lot like. And it actually fit him pretty well because he was also kind of funny, but like in a kind of like a C3PO kind of way. So once you get BT up and running, it's basically just a tutorial to learn how to use the Titan too, and um, I needed this tutorial honestly because I was messing up so much. All my buttons were messed up. I didn't know where anything was, and they just put easy enemies for you to shoot. You learn how to use all his abilities, but then they bring a Titan out, and he's not necessarily a hard Titan, but I was still learning how to use the controls, right? So when this Titan came out, he was whooping my ass. I mean, I did not know what I was doing yet. I was not prepared for it, and he was whooping my ass. So, so he had me in the lowest amount of health. So I'm pretty sure they just gave me the game because I'm pretty sure this Titan just threw the match because like after he had me in the lowest amount of health, he did not hit me at all once. Like he was just moving around, but he wasn't hitting me or anything. That was pretty much it for that mission. But I mean, it was a nice one. It wasn't anything crazy. But um, but so in the next mission, you kind of get separated by BT, and you're just running around as the pilot again. And this mission I thought was very cool. There was like I think there was only about like 5 mission, and including the first one was basically a tutorial. There was only like one other boring one, and but this second mission was really cool because so you get separated from BT, right? And you're um you're trying to find your way to him, and you're like in this factory, and they're creating like you're in this factory, and they're creating you're in this factory, and you have to like do some platforming stuff, some wall jumps and stuff like that. The platforms that you're jumping on, they're platforms. They're like exterior houses, interior houses, like patch of grasses, stuff like that. And I didn't think about it at first, but they're moving all in the way, and you're basically just following them the whole time. And so like once you get to the end where the you get to like this dome shaped thing, and I thought this was very cool and very well done because all the platforms they come back and they set the stage up in this dome for like a firefight. And I thought it was just really cool because they do like a cutscene where they all come back and they're all getting built and put together, and it was really well done, and I thought it was pretty neat. And so you're just fighting a normal firefight with grunts and suspectors, and then a Titan comes, and I was pretty frightened when it came to fighting this Titan because I was just the pilot, and but the good thing was that there was plenty of ammo there that they just give you, and you can go into some houses that the Titan can't go into, and you can just kind of hide there, recover your health. But it was actually pretty easy. I'm sure they made it easier, but the pilot versus Titan fight, to me, it felt easier than a Titan versus Titan fight. I'm sure they just did that because they knew how overpowered the Titans could be. But I thought that mission was pretty cool. But the next mission also did some really well platforming. I really enjoyed it. They introduced a new mechanic as in time traveling. So you're looking for some other pilot that was there like a week ago or something. He was there before you, and you find out that he's dead. So you kind of get his gauntlet, and I don't know how, but you can time travel. You can time travel to his time before his death, and you go back and forth. So when you're back at your time, you see the base all destroyed, and you're fighting wildlife. But once you go back to the other pilot's time, you're at the enemy base, and you're fighting the regular enemies, and it's actually pretty cool just to see like before and after, you know. And it's also really nice that it's like if you're in trouble, you can escape by going to the other timeline, but you're not safe either because you got the other enemies right there too. And in every single room, there's you can go back and forth. But they did some really cool platforming in it too. Like where you have to when you're jumping, you have to go back in time to get the platform over here, and you have to just keep going back and forth in time. And it's actually really well done, and I thought it was really cool. So the next mission is just story progression. Nothing really cool happening. I honestly don't remember it that much. Um, but then, like I said, it's a pretty short story, and so you get to the next mission, and it's already the final. But it actually gets really cool because this mission is really fast paced. I mean, it's UNBT, and there's a lot of Titan versus Titan. And by this time, I know all the controls. I know the loadouts and everything. I've been messing around with them with the whole story, but it's a lot of Titan versus Titan stuff. In this mission, I actually died, probably more than all the other ones combined. So it actually has some pretty emotional parts too, cause for a little while you're just running as a pilot, and it's cool too because you're when you're once you're running once you're just a pilot, you're running crazy fast, and you're doing all the platforming that Titanfall does, and then they give you a sweet gun too. It's just really well done, and I kind of had wished that I was able to stay as the pilot a little longer because it was actually really fun. But I mean, most of the time you're kind of the Titan. I had a lot of fun with this campaign. I mean, I think it only had probably about like 3 or 4 cutscenes, and I mean, all the story progression was through the gameplay, and I mean, you get to know a bunch of characters. I actually even saw some characters from the campaign on the multiplayer once I was trying it out. Yeah, that was actually pretty cool too. And not to mention like all the boss fights too. All the boss battles are so cool. I mean, you they put like all the different Titan loadouts, and some of them are crazy hard, but you might have to like switch to a loadout that you don't really know how to use that much, and you got to learn how to use it right there so you can fight this boss, and it's really well done. I mean, there was one guy, his name's Viper. He completely destroyed me. I mean, I was he completely destroyed me. I mean, I died like probably at least 12 times fighting this one guy. But overall, I am really glad I picked this game up, and I mean, if no, this game came out a year and a half ago. So I mean, if you guys haven't picked it up, then I'd definitely say try to pick it up just for the campaign. I mean, the campaign was great, and I'm actually gonna try the multiplayer a little bit. So yeah. All right, everyone. Thanks for checking out this review. It's my first one, so it's probably pretty bad. So don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below if you have played it.